History of Indigenous Arts in the Philippines from Pre-Colonial Period to Present. What is Pre-Colonial Period? The pre-colonial period is when our indigenous ancestors lived in the Philippines prior to the arrival of our first colonizers. Arts were only used for ritual or everyday purposes at the time. As local communities grew, art began to evolve beyond mere craft, such as stone weapons or jewelry, to include decorative elements, meaning, and context. So when we talk about literature, it can be written or spoken. The earliest forms of written literature are cave drawings and writings, and the earliest forms of oral literature are rituals, chants, and storytelling. Tigmo in Cebuano, Bugtong in Tagalog, Patutot Don in Bicol, and Paktakon in Ilonggo are pre-colonial literary pieces transferred in traditional narratives, speeches, and songs. Baybayin to spell was the Philippines' pre-colonial writing system. Baybayin is the ancestor of some modern scripts in the Philippines. So these are the example of Philippines pre-colonial period worksheets. When we talk about visual arts, it is the sculpture, paintings, and pottery were popular forms of visual arts during the pre-colonial period, as evidenced by tattoos from the Pintados in Panay, the bulol, a wooden sculpture of the rice god of Ifugaos, and the Manonggol burial jar discovered in Palawan. So these are tattoo from the Pintados in Panay. So this ink incorporates itself into the blood and the marks are indelible. Culturally, the inhabitants of Panay use tattoos to exhibit the record in battles. The more tattoo marks a man had on his body, the higher status as a warrior. The elegance of the pintado practice has raised tattooing into the level of art. Manonggol jar. The Manonggol jar is a secondary burial jar excavated from a Neolithic burial site in the Manonggol cave of the Tabon Caves at Lepoon Point in Palawan, Philippines. So this picture shows the bulol, a wooden sculpture of the rice god of Ifugaos. So bulol are the most numerous and best known of Ifugao figurative sculptures, and usually take the form of either a standing or seated figure. They are carved from a single piece of wood and generally exhibit a stylized and geometric rendering of the human body. So music. They are commonly used instruments, kolintang and agong. So kolintang refers to the gong and drum and symbol indigenous to the Sulu and Mindanao Islands in the southern Philippines and northern Borneo. So when we say agong, it is a boast wide-rimmed gong, part of the kolintang and symbol. It is the largest of gongs used in Mindanao. There are two holes on each side where the gong is tied by cords of suspension. They mimic the movements of nature and animals when they dance. So pre-colonial dances are distinctly meant to appease the gods and to ask favors from spirits as a means to celebrate their harvest or hunt. Their dance mimic life forms and the stories of their community. Present period. Indigenous artworks continue to be inspired by traditional marks and symbols from the dreaming and artist country and play an important role in the lives of indigenous peoples. So the literature in present period is exists in the present generation as an artistic expression, a source of knowledge, and a source of entertainment. Books are read both seriously by readers who seek information and secretionally by those who enjoy exploring their imagination. Literature sparks new ideas. So, this visual art is an important part of the human experience because it reflects the world and the time in which we live. Art can help us understand our history, culture, lives, and experiences of others in ways that other mediums can. The visual art are forms that create works that are primarily visual in nature, such as ceramics, drawing, painting, sculpture, printmaking, design, crafts, photography, video, film, filmmaking, and architecture. For For copyright purposes, visual arts are original pictorial, graphic, and sculptural works which include two-dimensional and three-dimensional works of fine, graphic, and applied art. Examples of visual arts works as are advertisement. So, makita diri ang picture, mag-advertisement sila sa ilang product. The modern form, the piano, which emerged in the late 19th century, is a very different instrument from the pianos for which earlier classical piano literature was originally composed. The modern piano has a heavy metal frame, thick strings made of a top-grade steel, and sturdy action with a substantial touch weight. These changes have created a piano with a powerful tone that carries well in large halls, and which produces notes with a very long sustained time. The contrast with earlier instruments, particularly those of the 18th century, with light wooden frames, slightly sprung actions, and short sustained time, is very noticeable. So these changes have given rise to interpretive questions and controversies about performing earlier literature and modern pianos. Particularly since recent decades have seen the revival of historical instruments for concert use. So, the guitar art at an early stage of art history was defined through highly realistic artworks, which celebrated the rollers, their lavish court lives, mythological figures, and the developments of the society. And the last is indigenous dances, particularly folk and tribal dances, tell stories about the village, culture, or way of life of any group of people. Different communities have different dance that tell stories about the culture of the place.